Hello students, welcome back to our virtual class. In economics, we are running with chapter number 4. In the chapter number 4, up to now, we understood about what is bank, right? What are the classifications of the bank, and among those classifications, there were two types. The first one was the commercial and the second one was the central. Today, we are going to understand about the functions of the commercial banks, right? We understood the meaning of the commercial bank in the last session. Today we are going to start the functions of the commercial banks. Now guys, over here I would like to tell you that the functions of the commercial banks are divided into two parts. The first one is the primary function and the second is the secondary function. In the primary function there are 5 functions, right? But among them today I am going to teach you the 3 functions only, right? The topic is too lengthy and I don't want you to get in trouble by looking into long syllabus in a single day, right? And that might create a problem with the understandings. So to keep the understanding easier, to make you understood very well, today we are going to talk about only 3 functions, only 3 primary functions. Number 1, 2 and 3. Number 4 and 5 will be covered in the next session. So the first primary function is accepting deposits. Now all of you are quite aware that what are the deposits? What are the deposits, right? The person who is saving some amount out of his total budget, and that saving a person is going to deposit in the bank. That is known as the deposit, right? It is basically the saving of the people who are going to deposit in the bank account to secure it, right? To make it safeguard. So to accept the deposit, that means the bank is going to take your money and to deposit in your account. For that, the bank is providing certain facilities. The first facility in the deposit is the current account deposits. That means your fund will be used in the current account. The businessman, the business person, right, they are opening the current account to make the liquidity of the money very well, right? The money is very much liquidated over here. The money is very much liquid over here. That means it can be transferred numbers of time. It can be transferred multiple times in a single day, right? In a single day you can make 10, 20, 30 withdrawal and the deposits, right? And there is no extra charge for it. If you cross one particular limit which is defined by the bank for your current account, and if you are crossing that limit, then you are supposed to pay some more extra service charges for that. Alongside, in this kind of deposit, there is no interest being paid to the customer. That means if you are having your current account, the bank is not going to pay you the interest on your current account deposit, because it is the fluctuation. It is the fluctuating deposit. It is not there for a long term. So bank cannot make the credit creation. That means the bank cannot make the lending, the loans out of your amount, because it can be used and asked to be withdrawn anytime, right? So in this kind of account, the banks are going to give you one more service. If your credit record is very good, if your transaction record is very nice with the bank, then bank can offer you some services like the bank overdraft. That means in your account, whatever the amount you have, you can withdraw more amount than that. That means if you have 50,000 rupees balance in your account, right, bank will give you the allowance of 20,000. Then you have only 50,000 in your account, but bank will allow you to withdraw 70,000 to just make your activities going on, right? But in exchange of that, bank is going to charge some interest also for this, right? So that is the first deposit, that is the current account. Now the second type of deposit is the saving account deposit. Saving account means whatever the amount we are saving, right, and we are making it deposited into the bank to safeguard that amount for a longer time, right? Basically this is the amount we don't require in today's time or right now, right? We might require that after a long time or after a small time of 1 month or 2 months. But to make the safeguard of our money, we are going to deposit all of them into the bank, and bank is going to pay us the normal interest rate of 4% in that. Right, this is the savings account. We all are quite aware with that, because all of us are having the saving accounts right now. So the saving account deposit, right, when it is required, you can withdraw that money by using check, by using draft, or by using payout slip, or else nowadays you can make the online transactions, right? You can make the online transfer, you can use your ATM, you can use credit card or debit card to withdraw your money from your account, right? So you can withdraw that amount whenever you want, right? But in this kind of deposits, right, are basically made for the purpose that the money is not to be used frequently, right? It is for the limited usage, right? In the saving account deposit only, bank is also providing one more service, that is the recurring deposit. In the recurring deposit, right, bank can give you the option to pay some small amount of money, right, what we call the EMI, and that EMI for every month on a particular date, right? You can pay them, and the interest rate on recurring deposit is more than the savings account, right? Bank is going to take and save that money, and this account's money is going to be used to give the loans to the other needy people. So bank will collect the interest from them, and definitely bank will pay you the portion of that interest to you as an interest of your deposits, right? Whenever needed, a person can withdraw the deposit, withdraw the partial amount, right, and can repay them, and for that bank can charge you some extra interest. So that was the recurring deposit. And the third kind of deposit is the fixed or long-term deposit, right? All of us are quite aware with the term of the fixed deposit, that what are FDs. We usually hear people that I have the FD of 50,000, I have the FD of 1 lakh, right? People are putting some money. If you have excess money and you know that I don't need this money for longer 5 years or 7 years, right? You can put them into the fixed deposit account in the bank. Bank will make it fixed deposit, and bank is actually paying higher interest rate in that. Why? Because bank is quite guaranteed that if the fixed deposit is there, in 90% of the cases, before the term of maturity, before the date of maturity, in the 90% of the cases, people do not withdraw it, so that they can get the complete interest whatever is offered by the bank, right? So this amount is for the longer time, so definitely bank is going to pay much more interest in that, so that, right, because bank will make maximum loans after the fixed deposit only. So this was the first primary function, that is the accepting deposits and what are the different types of the deposits. The second main function, the primary function, is providing credit facilities. To provide credit facility means in the simple terms we can say to provide the loans to the farmers, to the businessman, right? Or nowadays you can grab the loan for purchasing the car, purchasing the house, or renovation of the house, renovation of the business, right? For the different purposes you can make the different loans. So the banks provide you the loans into 3 different types, right? The first type is the short term, the second type is the medium term, and the third type is the long term, right? The short term is up to the 1 year. So day 1 to 365 days. Day 1 to 365 days. The loan given for maximum time limit of 1 year is called the short term. The loan for which the term is minimum 1 year and maximum 5 years is called the medium term. And the loan which is given for minimum 5 years and maximum 15 years, right, that is going to be known as the long term. The interest rates also varies on the different situation and the different terms. So that is the credit facilities, right? The bank provides the credit facilities too. And the third function and the last function of today is payment and withdrawal facilities, right? A person can make the payment to someone through the bank. That means a bank is going to pay someone the amount on behalf of you. Say for example, you just write the check and give it to someone. That person will present the check to the bank, and bank is going to pay the amount what is written in the check. That means it was your payment, but from your account only, bank has paid to that person. That's a service being paid by the bank. Or else you can make the draft and send it to someone so that a person can get the money, right, as soon as possible. Right, and also you can get the withdrawal facility. That means if you need your money, right, whatever you have deposited into bank, then bank will give you the facility for that too, that you can use the check and you can use the ATM and you can withdraw your money whenever you want. So guys, this was the end of today's session, right? Today we understood about the primary functions. In that we understood 3 main primary functions. The first is the accepting deposits. In that we understood about what is current account deposit, what is savings account deposit, what is recurring deposit, that is the part of savings account, and what is fixed or the long-term deposit. Then the second function was providing credit facilities, and the third one was payment and withdrawal facilities. In tomorrow's session we are going to understand one of the crucial point of this chapter, that is the credit creation. That's calculative one, right, and that will consume time because it is hard to understand, right, but I'll try my best to make it easier for you, right? So it's a topic which will take much more time. That's why I cut off this topic into 2 parts. Today is the part 1, tomorrow is the part 2. So tomorrow we are going to understand the fourth function. That will be our first point tomorrow, that is the credit creation, and the second is interbanking transaction, the 5th function, and then we'll be ending with the primary function, and the next time onwards we are going to start with the secondary functions too, right? So guys, I would like to conclude my session over here, right? I'll see you in the next session with these 2 topics what I have described right now. Till then, goodbye, take care, have a nice time, stay home, stay safe, right? I'll see you in the next session. Bye.